Eagles vs. Packers live updates. Green Bay holds narrow edge over Philadelphia in third quarter. The Green Bay Packers lead the Philadelphia Eagles 26-24 midway through the third quarter. The Packers raced out to a 6-0 lead thanks to 2 turnovers by the Eagles. The first was an interception by Xavier McKinney, and the second was a fumbled snap by Jalen Hurts. But despite starting 2 drives deep in Philly territory, Green Bay managed only 2 field goals. The Eagles took advantage, taking the lead on a Saquon Barkley touchdown reception, his first score as an Eagle. That set off quite a sequence, as Jayden Reed answered Barkley's score with a touchdown run, only for Barkley to come back with a touchdown run of his own, followed by a touchdown reception by Reed. The half closed with an Eagles field goal to cut the lead to 2. Philadelphia retook the lead only 2 plays into the second half via a 67-yard catch and run by A.J. Brown. The Packers then came back with a 6-play, 70-yard drive that ended with a Christian Watson 2-yard touchdown reception. The game minutes were filled with miscues, penalties, players slipping, and a failed 2-point conversion by the Packers. The field condition is definitely an issue for both teams, as both sides have had plays foiled by players slipping at untimely moments. In the second quarter, both the Eagles' Saquon Barkley and the Packers' Jayden Reed scored rushing and receiving touchdowns. 2 players doing that in the same quarter? That's never happened before in NFL history, a barn burner in Brazil. After the Eagles scored 2 plays into the second half, the Packers came back with a 6-play, 70-yard drive that ended with a Christian Watson 2-yard touchdown reception. The back-and-forth affair in Brazil continues. The Eagles retook the lead only 2 plays into the second half via a 67-yard catch and run by A.J. Brown. Green Bay's big offseason signing, Josh Jacobs, had 6 carries for 4 years, an average of 0.7 yards. This is the same guy who led the entire NFL in rushing just a couple years ago. Here comes Green Bay's offense to start their second half. Let's see if they get him more in the game. The first half ends with an Eagles field goal, and the Packers' lead is trimmed to 19-17 after an eventful 2 quarters. Green Bay's Jordan Love is 7 of 14 for 130 yards and a touchdown. Philadelphia's Jalen Hurts is 14 of 22 for 154 yards with a touchdown and an interception. Philadelphia will receive the second half kickoff. Brazil is the 5th nation outside the U.S. to host an NFL regular season game, joining Canada, the UK, Mexico, and Germany. Will this be it? Not according to NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. On 4th and 3 from the 33, Jalen Hurts found Devonta Smith on a little curl route for a first down. The Eagles are driving inside Green Bay territory but fighting the clock late in the second quarter. Not to be outdone by Saquon Barkley, Jayden Reed now has a receiving touchdown to go with his rushing one. Reed took advantage of a coverage bust on 3rd and 10 for a 70-yard catch and score. Green Bay is now back on top 19-14. Players are slipping and sliding all over the field in Brazil tonight, and it's sure to be a story in the game moving forward. Both teams have had plays ruined by receivers slipping at inopportune moments. Players seem to be searching for the right cleats to gain some traction. It looks quite slick out there, and the poor conditions have drawn the attention of some high-profile individuals. A second touchdown from Saquon Barkley has given the Eagles a 14-12 lead in the second quarter. Barkley capped a 9-play, 70-yard drive with an 11-yard touchdown run. Philly kept the drive alive a couple plays earlier by converting a tush-push on 3rd and 1. All it took was starting a drive in their own territory. But the Packers have a touchdown after 5-play, 70-yard drive that culminated in a 33-yard scoring run from Jayden Reed. After a penalty moved them a yard closer for the point after, Green Bay went for 2 but was stopped short. The Packers are now back on top 12-7 with a little over 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Jalen Hurts lofted a perfect throw to Saquon Barkley on a wheel route, and despite 2 first-quarter turnovers, the Eagles now have a 7-6 lead over the Packers. Green Bay jumped offside on a 4th down earlier in the drive, giving Philly a first down and setting the stage for the score. Barkley caught the 18-yard pass in the end zone for his first score as an Eagle. An eventful first quarter with 2 turnovers from the Eagles leading to 2 field goals for the Packers. Philly is finally putting together a drive, and will be near midfield when the second quarter starts. All in all, the Eagles have to feel okay, all things considered. It's only a one-score game despite two potentially devastating mistakes. Green Bay has to be kicking itself for some untimely penalties that stalled drives near the end zone. Packers QB Jordan Love is 6 of 10 for 60 yards, while Eagles QB Jalen Hurts is 5 of 7 for 30 yards and a pick. For the second straight drive, the Packers offense was gifted with incredible field position. And for the second straight drive, the Eagles defense, with an assist from penalties, held Green Bay to a field goal. 6-0 Packers late in the first out on 4th and 2, the Packers handed the ball off to Josh Jacobs and he picked up the first down by a nose. Green Bay now has first and goal from inside the 5-yard line. On third down, an early snap from Cam Jurgens caught Jalen Hurts off guard and he couldn't handle it, leading to a fumble and recovery by the Packers. Green Bay will start its drive inside the Philly 15. The Packers are up 3-0. Knocking in a field goal after the Xavier McKinney interception set them up inside Eagles territory. A decent stand by the Philly defense, all things considered, who were aided by a Green Bay holding penalty. On third and long and throwing from inside his own end zone, Eagles QB Jalen Hurts tried to hit Devonta Smith over the middle but was picked off by Xavier McKinney. The Packers will start their next drive from deep inside Eagles territory on the 19-yard line. Green Bay nearly scored a touchdown on its opening drive, but in trying to quick snap the ball and catch the Eagles with too many men on the field, the Packers also had too many men, resulting in offsetting penalties. Jordan Love missed a deep shot on the next play, and then Green Bay sent its offense back on the field on 4th and 6. But a false start penalty moved the Packers too far back for their liking, and they punted instead. Philly will start its first drive near the 10-yard line.